Okay, continuing from part one, we talked about the three chord shapes, the G and the A, which are the same thing. Just slightly different set of benefits with that. Depending on where you're holding that, you got a nice little bag of tricks with each. But you've got the C and the D. Sliding those up and down, you can really find some sweet spots with a lot of goodies that you can use in blues. And of course, the E and the F, same thing. The F is a lot more movable up and down the neck, but the E really frees you up on the bottom end here. A ton of things. Just so many songs that you can pull out of there, just hundreds of songs. So those three chord shapes are really going to pay off. But the next thing we want to talk about, and we'll come back to the chords, we'll kind of go back and forth where it makes sense. I'm trying to give you a full roadmap to where the key things that are going to help you to organize, build songs, learn to play acoustic blues, and really be pretty good at it. Now, the right hand, or in some cases the left hand, but your picking hand is what's driving. You're steering with the fret hand. You're setting up to the gears that you want to be in and the direction that you want to go. But until it's driven with that picking hand, it has no personality, it has no tempo, it has no dynamics. It can't go anywhere. It's stuck. So the right hand in blues, or the picking hand, is, in my opinion, the key of it. You can know a lot of stuff on the fretboard, a lot of theory, and a lot of things about a lot of scales. You can know a lot, and that's the key. You can know and understand a lot and still be a pretty crappy guitar player. And I think that's what people, they have to be told that their dynamics and their timing is not good so they can work on it. Because what happens is you begin to listen to yourself and you begin to filter out the bad. It's a natural thing that happens, and before long you think you're really on track, but the people that are listening, whether they want to say it or not, can hear all the crap. So a good example of this is the G chord. If I'm playing the G and I'm playing a John Hurt song, actually that's lazy lefty blues, but it's based kind of on a John Hurt style. That's one of my lessons, lazy lefty. But if I tighten down a little bit with it, now these three middle strings are playing a G chord, and I'm touching on those, and I'm trying to bring stuff out of the low end and the high end, but I can't because this is making so much noise. It's kind of like I'm trying to drive, but the kids in the back seat here won't shut up, and I can't get down the road. So I need to hush them up. I need to reach in the back and calm them down a little bit, just on and off as I go. And then that keeps them silent, and I'm not just filtering out that crap. I'm learning how to pick and control the strings and have dynamics in the sound. In other words, some things are more quiet, some things are more loud. I can also emphasize the beats, the 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2 and the 4 can be louder. 1, 2. And that will add sort of a mountains and valleys kind of a deal with the music, and it allows you to lock on to the beat and it allows the listener to lock on as well. It'll start getting them, making them want to move, and they'll start feeling it. And that's what a lot of people miss. So as we go forward here, what we want to talk about is picking. Now let me just take the A chord first, and I'm going to play the 5th string open, which is a A note, and I want to play dead thumb blues. A lot of people attribute this to Texas style of blues. Certainly Mance, Lipscomb, Lightning Hopkins, and a lot of those guys really leaned on this style, but it's not strictly Texas. This stuff goes back as long as music does in all the regions, and you want to try not to oversimplify the blues too much, or you're going to miss a lot of things. Not everything is. You got to remember, until documentaries and biographies and blues books came around, they didn't call this country blues, and they didn't regionalize it into Piedmont and Delta and Texas blues and Georgia. It was just blues. So here we go. With the A, I'm going to start with what we'd like to call dead thumb blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how I'm slightly allowing my hand to tickle and mute these strings a little bit as I play. But as I press and release with the fret hand, that also controls. See, I'm stopping the music with I'm muting with both hands. So now, as far as the picking goes, this is just the opposite of what a lot of teachers will tell you. They'll tell you to build this thumb until it has a mind of its own, and then these fingers will just play along as those two separate minds. That doesn't work. Your brain only does one thing at a time. If it's doing two things, it has to switch, do this thing, switch, and do this thing, switch back, and do this thing some more. So if you're playing the guitar, remember, your brain is switching back and forth here until that muscle memory is built and it sort of feels automatic. Your brain's only single threading, as if you want to think about a computer, it's only a single thread CPU. So really what's going on here is you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can either play each downbeat without any other notes here. So that's one combination. The other is to pinch, and you're going to be pinching a note kind of like a lobster at the same time that you're doing the downbeat. And the other combination is that you'll be, the thumb is coming up, you'll be picking on the offbeat. So what you have to do at the beginning of building your finger picking skills is to practice 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then before long you can start to put notes on certain beats. That's two measures, I think. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. See how I did both measures, but the second one's placing that high beat on high notes on a different beat. So I go 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. 3 and 4, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm putting those on different spots, and all of a sudden I have some music. Go to the E chord. And we'll just continue on with the series and build till we get there.